bobby10.com.
Have to get loose and look fly in the Reeboks. Exactly. I have them on, you have them on.
And you got the best two ways, Reebok and Hennessy, to get loose.
I kind of like that. It's like a real grassroots movement that we're going to start. Henny and Reeboks. That's the new shit. Matter of fact, your new single. Henny and Reeboks. You feel me though?
They don't need to know about that yet.
I dig it, I dig it. So my sister, first and foremost, how are you feeling?
I feel good. It's been a great year. My year started off with To Pimp a Butterfly. That's how my year started. January 11th of 2015, that's how my year started. And it's been amazing. Like I was telling somebody earlier, this album shifted the culture. It really shifted the culture, and it made it swing more towards the people, you know, and that's been the beauty of it. So.
Let's talk about the culture in the space of music and hip hop right now.
It's like women have always been there, but now you have this rebirth. Like people are like, where are they? So all these dope new females are coming up. So you know, before the album and the verse, that's what it was, getting people to listen. They had this idea of women can't rap, and you hear guys saying, I can't relate to anything you talk about. If you listen, maybe you can. If I can relate to you as a man, you could relate to some things that I'm saying. So what this album did was it gave me validation. And that's one thing I learned, which is sad that a lot of times for us and sometimes for our people, in order for them to listen to you, that you have to be validated. You have to have a cosign by a Dr. Dre or Kendrick Lamar. You have to be on BET, or you have to have a song on the radio. Other than that, it's like, oh, if you're not on any of these channels or any of these radars, then you must be whack.
Right.
So what To Pimp a Butterfly did was gave me validation and made it cool for like people are like, oh, she is dope. You know, I'll listen because it's in the mix of this Kendrick Lamar album that I like. So that's what it did for me.
So as an artist, what do you feel like you need from us as fans, as a society, to champion artists such as yourself, who some people put in a box as like a niche artist, or they have a niche sound, and to make your sound top 40? Because when I was growing up, I'm from Jersey, Lauryn Hill went to my high school, Lauryn Hill was top 40, you know what I'm saying? So what we have to do to get back to that place where artists who challenge our minds are considered top 40 and not just put in a box as, oh, that's neo soul or that's backpack rap. What do we have to do to get back to that place as an artist?
I'm not just gonna limit it to top 40, because with some people it's not all about the radio, you know what I mean? But just in general, like, just support the people that you like, you know. Don't feel like they have to be validated. They're not on TV or the radio, that, you know, you're not going to give them an ear. Buy their music. You know, that's the biggest thing. Buy their music. If they have a show, buy a ticket. Go support them at the show. Each one teach one. If you hear something you like, share it with the next person. And that's kind of where it all starts. But I mean, just to get, if you want to get top 40, it's like I say, like, if it's something that you don't like, turn it off. Don't buy it. Don't support it. Don't talk about it. You know, a lot of people will talk about an Iggy Azalea, how much they don't like her, before they talk about somebody they do like.
That's
you know
true.
What I'm saying? And you spend all this energy, whether it's negative or positive, that's promo for them.
But isn't that a byproduct of the machine of the industry? Like they pump so many dollars into these artists that they put them in front of us so much that we can't help but to respond and react to what's directly in front of us. Is that a part of it too? Like, how do we get past the machine of these record labels who force us to listen to this bullshit all the time on the radio? Like, how do we get past that?
Is it really forcing though? If you turn it off?
Yes.
You think so?
I think it's forcing, because I know.
I don't feel forced.
Because I know you can. Because more than ever, labels are buying placements for their artists. Like, money drives everything.
It does, and that's what I mean. Money drives everything. So when you turn off the radio, those advertisements, they're not getting those dollars. You see what I'm saying? And that's where it's like, oh, I'm wasting my money on this because people are turning it off. You know what I'm saying? If there's a what, Love and Hip Hop, if you don't like Love and Hip Hop, if you don't like how Love and Hip Hop represents black women, stop watching Love and Hip Hop. But because you watch it and that's part of the ratings, they're gonna continue to give you that. They're gonna feed you that. People love drama, so let's keep giving them drama. So let's give them Love and Hip Hop, let's give them this, let's give them that. Everything drama based, because that's what people like. You know what I'm saying? If you want, I don't know, you know, something just with more balance, you gotta support it. And that's what I'm saying. That's why it's like I don't feel forced. I have a radio in my car, you know, I don't have to listen to the radio. I go buy on iTunes what I want to hear, and I go buy the CDs, and I'll make me a mix CD before I listen to something that I don't want to, just because it's on the radio. You can't put hip hop in a box with knobs on it. You know, the people drive the culture. Like, radio does not drive the culture, you drive it. So whatever you put your energy into, that's what it is.
Okay, maybe I'm just a radio baby. You know, I grew up listening, like, hitting my record and my play button at the same time when Rockefeller was up to Hot 97.
I did the same thing, but I'm not a slave to the radio. That's what I mean. It doesn't own me. So at the point where the radio's not playing anything that drives me and uplifts me, I'm gonna turn it off because I'm not a slave to it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is.
True indeed, true indeed. I'm gonna talk about what we were talking about up here earlier.
We gotta talk about
because I think it's important to give credit where it's due. Like, we talking about giving our artists the kind of support that they want. I personally feel. So earlier we were talking up here, guys. I first initially I told her, like, listen, I talked to J-Rock some time ago, and I told him I felt like he had the best verse on Good Kid, Mad City, right? That was my personal opinion. I told him that when I saw him in person. I saw you right now, and I said, listen, in my personal opinion, you have the best verse on To Pimp a Butterfly.
They actually cut it short. They're like 8 more bars after.
What's the rest of the bars? I need to hear that. You gotta give me them bars. Can we make sure you're rolling right now? I need them 8 bars, please.
It ain't that many, but...
Let me get them. Whatever they are, I need to hear them.
It ain't complex to love your complexion. Readdress it like Annie Corbinici, whether you fair black in spades, cut out the colorism. We all part of God's prison or something like that. Yeah.
Don't give me something like that.
Something like that. I don't know.
Now, as an artist, as an MC, I know you gotta be politically correct in 2015 because there's so many different cameras in your face and everything can get traced to social media. I get it. But as an MC, a competitor, what do you feel like your verse did to Kendrick's album? Where did it catapult Kendrick's album? And was it better than any verse that he spit on the album? And be an MC and a real ASN. I can't say what I want to say.
I only say this because this is just for me and my perspective. We, as artists, we are competitive, and that's great because that pushes the music. When you compete with each other, that makes you a better artist on both ends. So I'm a competitor, but with this project, and especially this song, when he told me the concept, because I didn't hear his verse at all. All he sent me, he called me, he told me, like, look, the title is Complexion. I want to make something for our people. Yeah, I didn't, all I heard was from the whoop, 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 where my homegirl Rapsody at, and the beat, that's all I got. He told me the title and he told me the concept.
Now that's crazy, because your verse was completely...
Right. I didn't hear anything, I didn't know the title of the album, I heard no other song. I got the whoop, 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 where my homegirl Rapsody at, beat, that's all I got. He didn't tell me no more. So that's it. So, you know, with this one, it wasn't, I had to go into it where I don't want to go into it trying to rap my face off competing with him. I want to make a dope song. That's what I wanted to do. And I wanted to tell the story. And it was the concept of the song, just complexion. You know, me being a darker skinned female, like I understand, you know, that parallel, like dark skin. So I really wanted to do something with that and just make the dopest song and touch people, you know. So that's how I went to it. That's why I was just like, for me, it's like, I can't go in it and say like I had the best verse, because that's not how I'm looking at it. I wanted to compliment the album and make the best song to add to the album the best way that I could to make it a good dope project. So that's why I say it. Now if you ask me about another song, we can talk about that on something we sparring on. Because I don't think it's fair to be like, oh, you got the dope verse when that wasn't the idea. Kendrick wasn't trying to go hard and kill me, he was trying to say something. But also for me, like, I love hood politics. Because I told you, like, for me, it's just, I don't think it's just lyrics and flow, but there's something about the science of rhyme that I love, and his flows and his inflection and the conviction that he tells, like, the boy is at the top of the list when it comes to that. I ain't saying I ain't running with him.
I want to make sure you give yourself the credit.
Yeah, we running. Like, no. Like, it's a respect thing. He could have had anybody he wanted. Anybody he wanted. So the fact that he called me,
that's crazy,
to be the only outside of Snoop doing a hook to be the only verse, I already know how he has the same respect for me, and to be where he is, and he's competing with the Jays and Drakes. I know what that is, so I know I've done my work. So that's good enough for me. Like, I can compete, but I'm a fan of the music too. So I compete, but I'm also gonna big you up because I'm a fan of you too. Like, there's a balance in that I have.
Sure we do. You got good media training. So
This is real.
You know how to spin it.
This is not media training.
You well versed. You're better. You're seasoned. What's next for you in terms of work, in terms of artistry, creativity? What's next for you?
I am wrapping up my second album now. It was supposed to come out December of this year, but I had a few more songs I wanted to do. Terrence Martin came down and, you know, he added some things to it. So I'm gonna go to LA and finish it, but that'll be out next year. So that's the biggest thing, finishing this album. I've been touring all year, so that's it, this album.
Sure indeed. Well, we're looking forward. What's the name of the album? Do we have a name for the Joe?
I can't say yet.
No,
I do have a name.
Let me get an exclusive song. You can get a PC Kendrick response.
I have a name, I have dope features, but I can't say yet.
Okay.
I wish I could, but I can't say it.
I respect it. What's going on in the water in North Carolina? There's so many amazing, talented people are coming out of that state, man. Like, y'all got something brewing down there.
Yeah, we've always had dope talent, but you know, people just overlook us because we're not this big, huge, crazy like New York, LA city. But the crazy thing about North Carolina is I-95 runs right through North Carolina.
Yeah.
North Carolina sits in the middle East Coast, so you would have, you know, all the drug dealers from New York come down.
Facts.
And they're bringing their music while they're here doing their business. They're bringing us Wu-Tang, they're bringing us Nas. But we also 6 hours from Atlanta, so we get that southern influence too. So North Carolina sound-wise is a big melting pot. So it's a car culture. You can't walk around like you can DC.
Definitely
you gotta
can.
drive.
Definitely can.
So it's got the New York feel, but the music also, it's got to be something that you can ride to in your car. So that's the beautiful thing about North Carolina, and that's where our influence comes through. 95, like top to bottom.
All right.
So.
We got Complex, about to cue it up over here. Before I let you go, I went to North Carolina A&T State University. You're from North Carolina. Aggie Pride all day, my brother. What's up, King? Peace, beloved. I see you. Is North Carolina the North or the South?
Middle East Coast.
No, don't
that's all.
You're so PC, man.
Middle East Coast. Some people will say the South. Some people, you can't say the North is under the Bible Belt. I say Middle East Coast, like that's what I say.
Shit is
but it's more South than anything.
Of course.
I would say that.
If you have sweet tea, you're the South. That's my
South. Yeah.
Sweet tea makes you the South.
It's sweet tea. We got that Southern drawl. Everybody go to church.
You got Miss Winners, $2.99 for 8 pieces of chicken. That's the South. That's the South, man. All right, we got Complex ready to spin off. What's up, beloved? Complexion.
I appreciate you so much, my sister. Y'all put y'all hands together for my sister Rapsody up here.
Thank y'all, man. Thank Reebok, thank Ian, thank Tennessee. This is really dope. Like I told you, it's dope that it's really organic, you know. And I love Reebok. They always put people, man.
Super organic. This was not planned. This interview was not planned. This is the most organic shit I've ever done.